everyone, welcome to a Meals of the Week video. When I announced that I would be doing Vlogmas this month, I also asked if you had any requests for videos. And Karina, she left me a comment and she said, "Hi, I would like to see some of your healthy, delicious recipes. Thank you." So, Karina, this video is for you. And of course for anyone else who would love to see some of the meals and recipes that we have here. Now I will show you all the meals that we had this week. And what I like to do is always make a little bit more than we need for the night. And that way I will have like a lunch ready for the next day. Or I will have a freezer meal that I can just reheat on a very busy day. I will talk about the meal plan that I had for this week. And show you how I prepared all the meals. And for the measurements, if I can remember them, I will put them in the description box. Sometimes I just eyeball the ingredients, but I will try to be very specific with the recipes in the description box. I started meal prepping a while ago after not doing that for a long time. I was just a little over it for a while. Life felt quite overwhelming with two little ones, and I thought that meal planning would just add stress to my life, so I stopped doing it. But now that I'm doing it again, I'm like, what was I thinking? Meal planning certainly eliminates stress from your life. And like Jennifer Scott says, meal planning is a homemaker must. So I started meal planning again and I'm loving it. So here you see the things we had. We had a pasta sauce with pasta for the kids but not for us, and a salad. Then we had veggie soup and a veggie burger. We also had chicken soup, homemade pizza, a dill chicken recipe with cream, a salad and pumpkin pancakes. And then we also had zucchini patties with normal white cheese and with vegan cheese. Today I'm making pizza and I used a different recipe for the dough than I usually do. And I also made a double batch so that we would have pizza for the freezer. I have 2 bowls of warm water, and to that I add a teaspoon of sugar. Then I add 2 teaspoons of yeast to each bowl. And then I will just let it sit for about 3 minutes so the yeast can activate. I add salt to the flour and I used whole grain spelt flour. And then some oil. I'm going to combine all the ingredients and then mix everything, first with the mixer and then by hand. Now it's time for the dough to rise, so I put them on a baking tray and brush them with oil. Then I cover them with a cotton kitchen towel and I put them in a warm place to rise. And I used the oven for that at 30 or 35 degrees Celsius. Now I'm going to make sauce for the pizza and I'm going to hide some veggies in there so my children won't notice that they're eating veggies. I have a zucchini and a bell pepper, and then I add some pasta sauce and I will blend everything together with some granulated onion. Now after an hour I take the dough out of the oven and I shape each ball of dough into a pizza. And now I add the sauce with the hidden veggies and then some cheese. I have sliced mozzarella and grated mozzarella today. I also add some chili flakes, but not on the entire pizzas because I know my children won't like it. So I only put it on half of one pizza. Then they go into the oven, and here you see the sauce that I have left over. I will use that tomorrow when we have pasta. Now I used a little bit too much sauce on the pizza, so it was quite liquidy and it took a very long time in the oven for it to evaporate a little bit. So I think the pizzas were in the oven for over 30 minutes. And here you see all the pizza that's left over, and I will put this in the freezer. Now the pizza didn't turn out the way I expected at all. I mean, it was a little out of proportions. The crust was way too big. I had too much dough and there were not so many toppings. There should have been more toppings. But it was good nonetheless, and surprisingly my son ate an entire slice, so for that reason alone it was a success after all. My daughter didn't eat it. She had a few bites and then yeah, she was done. But my son ate it, and he is the more difficult eater, if you should call it that way. But he is a little more picky than my daughter when it comes to eating, so I was really glad that he ate it. Today we have a pasta dish. Although my husband and I don't eat the pasta, that is just for the children, and I have some Mickey Mouse pasta for them. I start by peeling and slicing 7 small onions. I fry those in a big pan in some olive oil for about 30 minutes until they start to caramelize a bit. Then I add some ground beef, and when the ground beef is almost cooked through, I will add some veggies. I'm adding zucchini and carrots, and also salt and pepper. Then I add the leftover sauce from yesterday with the hidden veggies, and also a new jar of pasta sauce. I'm also making a salad, so I cut up half a head of iceberg lettuce, and then I will add some mixed lettuce. I'm using this salad dressing, is red onion dressing. I add some bell pepper and white cheese. And in the meantime, I keep stirring the veggie and ground beef mixture. I add quite a bit of garlic. I used 6 cloves today. Now back to the salad, I'm adding some smoked chicken, and then I combine everything and I add some falafel on top. Now today was more of a simple meal. I made some veggie soup, and on the side we had some broccoli patties. Now let's start with the soup. I have a pot with boiling water, and to that I add some broccoli. I used about 1.5 head of broccoli, and then 3 small onions. Here you see the stock cubes that I'm using. I really like the flavor of this particular brand and this particular type. I will let this boil for 10 minutes, and after that I blend everything. When the soup is almost done, I add the garlic. Now I take some soup and put that in bowls because my husband wants the soup without potato, and I really like potato in the soup. After putting some soup in a few bowls for him, I will put the soup back on the stove and add the potato and boil it for another 8 minutes or so, and then it is ready. Now I have some store-bought patties tonight, as you can see, these broccoli patties, and they go in the oven for 10 minutes. Now dinner is served, as you can see, and my kids really love those broccoli patties. And not so much the soup. My daughter sometimes eats soup, but my son really doesn't like it at all. But he loves the patties, and that was our dinner for today. Today I will be making pumpkin pancakes, a chicken recipe with dill and cream, and then a salad. In this pot I boiled some pumpkin cubes, and now I blend the pumpkin in the water. And after that I will add whole grain spelt flour, salt and eggs. Now I mix everything until I have the right consistency, and I like to add some vegetables to the pancakes so my kids won't notice that they are eating veggies, but they are. Now I heat up some oil in a pan. I'm using extra virgin olive oil, and then I will start making the pancakes. Now in a big skillet I fried up some chicken, and now I will add the garlic and I will let it cook for a while. Now it's time to add the cream. And I will also add salt and pepper. I let that simmer for a bit and then I add the fresh herbs, some parsley and dill. Now I'm making the salad. I'm using iceberg lettuce, mixed lettuce, white cheese, smoked chicken and falafel. And for the dressing I'm using a red onion dressing. Today I'm making chicken soup and I make the broth myself. I don't use a bouillon cube or store-bought broth for this recipe. So I start by putting some chicken meats and bone in my crock pot and I let that simmer for 24 hours. After 24 hours I take out the chicken and then I transfer all the liquid to a pot. Now I will add some garlic and some fresh turmeric. Also some ginger and a piece of spicy pepper. Of course onions, what is soup without onions? And then some veggies, leek, celery and carrots. Then I add a generous amount of salt and some spices. And then some garlic mustard. After boiling for like 20 minutes or so, the soup is done and I add the shredded chicken. Now I suspected that my son and daughter wouldn't eat too much of the chicken soup. They're not very big fans. They eat a few spoons and then they are done. So I also boiled some eggs for them. My daughter really loves to slice her egg with the egg slicer, so we let her do that. It's just so much fun to her. And they also had some applesauce that was made by my mom. She froze it and then brought it to us a while ago. So I cannot show you how it is prepared, but it was really good. I tasted a little bit. Now, of course, there are many ways in which you can make chicken soup. I really like this recipe at the moment. It's really tasty and it's even better when you leave it in the fridge overnight and the next day it just tastes divine. Today I tried to make zucchini patties and they are vegetarian. I made two variations, one with regular white cheese and one with vegan cheese. Now before you get all excited, the one with the vegan cheese, it was a very nice idea, but it didn't work at all. Maybe if you deep fry them, they work out better. My brother made this recipe once and he deep fried it and then it worked really well with the vegan cheese. But for a skillet, it is just, yeah, it melts, so it became quite a mess. But the ones with the regular white cheese, if you bake them in a skillet, it works out very well. Now I started by using the juicer. I thought it would get rid of all the liquid from the zucchini. But as you can see, when I pressed on it with a spoon, there was still a lot of liquid that came out of it. So next time I think I will just grate the zucchini and then use a spoon and a strainer. I think the prep time won't be very different because it takes a lot of time to clean the juicer. Oh, and I also juiced the onions along with the zucchini. Now I tasted some of the green juice and I have to say it tasted surprisingly good for something that has onions in it. But yeah, it wasn't bad at all. Now it's time to combine all the ingredients. In this bowl I have the zucchini and onion and then I add some fresh mint leaf. I also add garlic and salt and a lot of pepper. And then some crushed flax seeds that I soaked in lemon juice. Now here are the two bowls, one with the regular white cheese and one with the vegan cheese. Now I add some flour and cornstarch, and that is 200 grams in total, so 75% flour and 25% cornstarch is the right ratio. And then last thing, I add some baking powder. Then I heated up some oil in a skillet, and like I said, the ones with the white cheese, they turned out very well. They were very tasty. But the ones with the vegan cheese, it didn't work very well to fry them in a skillet. It would be better to deep fry them, that way they turn out great. So it was nice to try it, but I was really done cooking after this, so we only ate these patties. But they were very filling and very satiating, so it was a good meal after all. Oh, and by the way, the day after this I also didn't feel like cooking, so I heated up some pizza and chicken soup, the ones that I made earlier this week, and we just had that for dinner. Now on Friday night I always try to make or buy a dessert. We like to eat dessert on Friday nights to celebrate the start of the weekend. And this time we had stewed pears with whipped cream. These stewed pears were made by my mother. She also froze them and brought them to me when she also brought the applesauce. She had a big cooling container with some things that she made for us. And so also the stewed pears. So I cannot show you how those were made, but they were really good, and with the whipped cream it was just perfection. Now I really hope you liked this video. Maybe it inspired you to start meal planning again. It's really helpful, it saves time and it helps you to stay on your budget. It's also easier to not waste anything that you have bought, because you just make an inventory at the start of the week, like what do I have, what do I need to use up, and in general it's just less stress about dinner. So I can really recommend it, and I don't know why I stopped doing it. Thank you for watching, and I would love to see you in my next video. Bye!